Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday, December 19th, 2023 Board of Education Business Meeting for Wall Township. Please join me. We're going to rise and say the flag salute. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask our Board Secretary, Mr. Smythe, to please read the sunshine announcement and perform roll call.
This is the Wall Township Board of Education meeting for which adequate notice under the Open Public Meeting Act was provided by a notice to the Co-Star, Asbury Park Press, all Wall Township Public Schools, Township Clerk's Office, and the Board Administration Office on January 5th, 2023. I'll take a roll call. Mr. Adnesio?
Here.
Mr. Buffa?
Here.
Ms. DiGiovanni?
Here.
Ms. Hodnett?
Here.
Mr. Mallett?
Here.
Mr. Nasser?
Here.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Here.
Mr. Wondrak? Here. Ms. Stites?
Here. Thank you. At this time, may I please have a motion for the board to go into executive session for the items mentioned on the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Sanfilippo.
I'll second.
Ms. Hodnett. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the board anticipates resuming for our regular board meeting at 7:30. Good evening. At this time, we're going to reconvene the business meeting of the Wall Township Board of Education for December 19th, 2023. This time, I would like to welcome the Wall High School NNDCC Color Guard in presenting the colors and the flag salute.
Color guard, forward, march. Right wheel, march. Color guard, halt. 3 set. Goes. Carry. Goes. Cut. Right wheel, march. Forward, march. Color guard, halt. Order, on. Cut. Color guard, dismiss. Aye, dash.
Thank you. Thank you to our cadets. They always do a great job for us. You guys have a great break. Okay, at this time, may I ask the board secretary to please perform roll call?
Take a roll call, Mr. Addonizio.
Here.
Mr. Buffa.
Here.
Ms. DiGiovanni.
Here.
Ms. Hodnett.
Here.
Mr. Maliff.
Here.
Mr. Nasser.
Here.
Mr. Sanfilippo.
Here.
Mr. Wondrak.
Here.
Mr. Mason Adam.
Here.
Ms. Megan Cappy.
Here.
Mr. Michael Southwell.
Here.
And Ms. Stites.
Here. Thank you. This time, I'm going to turn the floor over to Dr. Handerhan to introduce the student showcase.
Good evening, everyone. The student showcase this evening will be brought to us through video, and it is a highlight from Allenwood School, and I know that Dr. O'Connell is incredibly proud of her students and her staff in putting this video together, so I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you.
It truly is the most wonderful time of year at Allenwood, made even better by our musicians. Special thanks to our incredible teachers, Mrs. McLaughlin and Mrs. Coe. Enjoy the Green and White Band, the Mighty Dragon Band, and the 4th and 5th grade chorus.
Oh, we got it. Oh, we got it. Yeah, we got it. Oh, we got it. Here we only got one rule. Here we only got one rule. Never ever let it cool. Never ever let it cool. Keep it cooking in the pot. Soon you're hot chocolate. Let me sing. Scrooge, Scrooge, Scrooge. Those money sins were huge.
Looks like it's great to be a dragon in the month of December, Miss Stites. I don't know.
Agreed. Thank you so much to our Allenwood Dragons for sharing all your holiday spirit with us. And I'd like to just extend a thank you to their music department. They start them pretty young here in Wall, and the next thing you know, these fourth and fifth graders are going to be, in the high school, and then some of them off to college pursuing their music. So that's certainly a strength in the district, and it's fun to see the kids all enjoying themselves. So we thank them, and we thank them for all their spirit that they have there. Okay, at this time, I'm going to be opening the floor for public comment. I would like to just reiterate that this is an opportunity now for members of the public to come forth and share any questions or concerns that you have, but please recognize that the board will not be engaging in a back and forth. This is an opportunity for us to hear you and then express your concerns, and then we will hopefully either be addressing your concerns later in the meeting or through communications at a later date. So this time, if anyone would like to come forward, please, we've got the podiums up here and up top.
Hi, I'm Dr. Raj Gupta. I'm not quite sure if this is the right forum, but I come asking for consideration for my daughter, Abigail. The Gupta family have been residents here in Wall Township for over 17 years. Abigail and her older sister both were dragons at Allenwood Elementary School. Her older sister, Asha, graduated from Wall Township High School and now is in college in University of Tampa. Recently, we sold our home. We were residents first on West Hurley Pond and now Campbell Road. And we just recently sold our home, and we're in between homes. So if you know anything about the market, it's very difficult to find inventory. So while we continue to look and want to stay in our hometown of Wall Township, we are currently without a home. So I am requesting consideration for Abby, who is still in high school. She's a junior here in Wall Township. I understand that there is a non-resident fee for keeping your child in Wall Township schools. And I'm just requesting some consideration while we continue to look for our home in Wall Township. Again, I don't know if this is the forum. I just happened to see we have been out of our home now for a month and still looking. We're even considering purchasing a townhome in Quail Ridge just so we can keep her in school. So anyway, again, I don't know if this is the forum, but I just wanted to go ahead and request consideration for that fee or waiving that fee or just postponing that fee until we can find a home. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else for public comment?
Betsy Cross, I live in Wall Township. I'm going to wish that gentleman luck because I've had lots of problems trying to get consideration for things for my son when they're done for other people. So I hope this guy really gets your undivided attention because I did not. I do see, looking at some budget projection reports, we do pay the Manasquan School District $68,448,000. And I think you're going to recall when Ralph Adonisio was the board president and a letter was sent to Tracy Handerhan for my son to go to Manasquan, it was denied. So it seems we like some children, we don't like others. My son was heavily into the arts. I think you're all aware of that. And it was really a disgrace. I think you should really be ashamed of yourself, Dr. Handerhan and Mr. Adonisio.
Please direct
and
your
Ms.
comments
Stites.
to the chair,
Yeah,
Ms.
they're going to
Cross. Thank you.
They're going to Ms. Stites.
Thank you.
Confidential matters, you should say what they are instead of for the items mentioned on an agenda. It's ridiculous. Hoping that the board is going to get Mr. Smythe's deposition when he does have it. And I hope the whole board gets to see it, and anybody else that's deposed. Because we've been waiting 4 long years, 4.5 years to get to the truth on the trailers. And Athena Cornell has done a horrible job in getting us the truth, and so did Michael Gross, and so did Ralph Adonisio, Ms. Stites, and you're now the president. So many disturbing things that, I've been following for 4 years now. And, one that's really odd is, on May 17th, you're going to spend $339,000 for trailers, but you budget in your lease agreement like you're spending $624, and you take out a loan for that. And you put all your payments in water and sewer. And I remember Adam Nasser telling me, oh, that's where the board DOE told us to put them. It's ridiculous. We can go back. Don't worry, Mr. Nasser. We can go back to that video. But all these things are coming to light. And when Mr. Brian Smythe is deposed, I hope we see it on his calendar. That would be nice. And you've really got a lot of problems. The board's all involved. You've been all complicit. We got an attorney here, Kathleen DiGiovanni. I hope you see the
Please
deposition.
direct your comments to the chair,
Right?
Ms. Cross.
Ms. Stites,
Thank you
please give
so
it to
much.
Kathleen
We would
DiGiovanni.
appreciate it.
Law enforcement, we got Ken Wonderak here, retired. So the settlement agreement was postponed, but we don't know why. And I think the dollar amount just keeps going up and up and up based upon all the information that we've had this whole time.
Thank you, Mrs. Cross. Your time is up.
So,
Thank you.
Can you answer if you have seen the deposition?
Your time is up. Thank you.
Do we have anyone else for public comment at this time?
Whoops. It's good? Okay. Kelly Rotzma, I live in Wall Township. I just wanted to say thank you to all the members of the board, excuse me, especially those of you who this might be your last meeting. I appreciate all of your time. I think you guys have done a great job, and I wish you all the best for the holiday season and New Year. Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else for public comment? Okay, seeing none, we're going to be closing the floor for public comment. At this time, I would like to welcome our student representatives, and we are thrilled to hear your report. The floor is yours.
This week in school, it is Holiday Spirit Week. Each day is a new fun theme. Today was dressed as a holiday character day. To wrap up this fun week, Wall High School will be holding its first ever winter pep rally this Friday. Now we will have a fall, winter, and spring pep rally to honor all the sports. The entire school is so excited. Pep rallies are so fun and get the whole school involved. It is the perfect way to head into our winter break.
Our winter sports have also just kicked off. Freshman Donovan Klein is off to a blazing start for the boys bowling team and is currently a top 10 bowler in the state. Boys and girls basketball both picked up their first wins of the year as well. In the pool, the boys and girls swimming team just won their first meet. To wrap it up, the track team completed their Ocean Breeze tournament in States Island and won the distance medley relay. Their captain, Matt Remashowski, also just announced his commitment to run at Westchester University. The rest of the track team has their first meet today at the Toms River Bubble.
It's also both a hectic and rewarding time for the class of 2024, who are currently receiving many of the college application decisions. We wish the seniors the best of luck with these decisions and can't wait to see where they all end up at.
So true. So our student representatives this evening are Michael Southwell, Megan Cappy, and Mason Adam. They've all done a great job for us on this first half of the school year. We've got other members that are not here this evening, but we always appreciate you guys keeping us up to date. I know things are getting a little wild, but Christmas break, holiday break is right around the corner, so hang in there. If you guys would like to stay for the meeting, you're always welcome. If you've got other commitments, we totally understand. But thank you, and I hope you guys have a great break. At this point in time, I'm going to turn the floor over to Dr. Handerham. We've got a couple of special presentations that she's going to introduce. If the board would like to go around and watch from the front, they certainly may.
It's my pleasure to start off this portion of our evening with the RISE program overview. So it is my pleasure to welcome Ms. Kelly Bond, Dr. Nancy Samaha, and Ms. Sue Morin.
Good evening, and thank you for, do I need to speak to that, or am I loud?
Yes.
Speaking to that?
It's weird, my face that way. Okay, I'm going to go this way. Okay. So thank you very much for the opportunity to present this evening and to share some really important information with you. So part of my responsibilities as the director are to look at referral data, the reasons why students are coming to us in special education, and then to look at our current programs and determine if we're meeting the needs of all students. So something that we are noticing that is increasing in our student population is mental health challenges. And we are looking to create a program that will support this. So we're looking to create a program that will be restorative in nature. It will teach children the restorative practices that are necessary to support them in a very individualized program. So each child will have a very individualized program that will meet their needs. We're looking to do so in a very small, calm, and supportive environment. And we're also looking to provide them access to Wall High School, the academics, and the extracurricular activities that Wall High School has to offer. So while this slide is up here and you have the opportunity to look at the core values behind the RISE program, I'm going to give the microphone to Susan Bourne, who's going to share some information with us.
I think I'm just going to talk. Is that okay? You can hear me? Gail, can you hear me? No? All right, sorry. Okay, so while you're looking at this, I have to put my papers down, sorry. While you're looking at this, I want to tell you a little bit about the type of student that this program would serve. So why do we need this program over and above what we already have at Wall High School? So to do that, I'm going to ask you to please think of a time when you've experienced anxiety. Like, think of the instance. And I'm not just talking about like I was up at 3 a.m. thinking about what I was saying today, this morning. That's normal anxiety. I'm talking about real anxiety, maybe even panic. When someone posed that to me, what I thought of was when my children were about 3. I have twins. And when I would go shopping with them alone, I always put them in a cart because there's 2 of them, 1 of me. And on one occasion, I was going shopping and my mother was coming with me. We're going to Kohl's. All right, we don't have to put them in a cart. Let's give them a little bit of freedom. This is great. So they would travel kind of back and forth between my mother and I. Well, as my mother and I got further and further apart in the store, I look down and there's no Luke. And I look around and I don't see him. So then I look around, I see my mom, I go over to her, Mom, where's Luke? She's like, I don't know. So then, of course, we're getting a little frantic. We're looking in the racks, separating the clothes. Is he inside? Is he hiding? Nothing. Okay, he must be back by the toys. Let's go back by the toys. Get back there, search around, no Luke. So now my heart's racing. Now the anxiety's really up, right? So I grab the first person I can find that works there. Tell them what's going on. They get on the walkie-talkie. They notify the other employees, like, we got the missing little boy, we're all looking for him now. A couple minutes go by, getting more and more anxious. Then they call people out of the back rooms. I see doors opening, more employees are coming out looking for him. No Luke. Feels like hours. Sure, it was just minutes. And then I hear the store manager say to another employee, I think it's time to call Code Adam. Lock the doors and call the police. Now I'm not just anxious. Now it's panic. Now I'm like frozen. My heart's not racing anymore. I'm frozen. And I feel this like wave come over me, like I could throw up or pass out. We have students that experience that same level of panic when they walk in the school building. This program will support them. This program will give a place for them in their home school, in their district school, with their peers, so they don't have to travel out of district. Now, that explains to you the level of anxiety, but I'd like to, if you'll indulge me, tell you in a student's own words. When they were asked, this is a student who experiences school avoidance, probably the worst year was over 100 absences. What do you want your teachers to know? What do you want your peers to know? What do you want people to know about what you experience, why you're not in school? So I'm going to read to you some of the statements from this youngster, high school age. She absolutely wanted to be in school. She said, having a body full of the effects of adrenaline is not fun. She didn't feel safe in school. And she clarified, this was absolutely not the fault of the school. I know it wasn't logical, but it was very real and impossible to override at times. She was terrified of feeling trapped at school with waves of panic and anxiety too difficult to manage. She needed to know she could leave, and she needed to know that she could make that decision. She had control over it. She was desperately worried that she would be negatively judged by her teachers and her peers. Her anxiety usually came out of nowhere. She had no control over it. She was not trying to get out of anything or trying to get attention. When she was stricken with panic, she felt like she was going to die. And it sounds dramatic, but I can tell you that day in Kohl's, when they said lock the doors and call the police, I felt like I was going to die at that moment. Her inability to function, she wants you to know, is not due to laziness, procrastination, or a lack of willpower. Now on this slide, I won't read to you, but I would like to address 2 bullet points, the first and the last. The first talks about the types of therapy that would be provided in this therapeutic learning environment that would be different than what the high school already has. So if you talk about cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectal behavioral therapy, these are 2 types of therapy that could be provided in this program, depending on the student's needs, that they wouldn't get if they went to guidance or to a child study team member. And then the last bullet point, the fact that the program extends outside of school with family supports is very important. As you can imagine, school avoidance to the likes of 70 to 100 absences per year affects not only that student, but it affects the family as well. So I'd like to read for you a statement from a parent of a student who experiences emotionally based school avoidance. This parent's talking about their son in high school, and they state, my 15-year-old son has been struggling with school avoidance since he started high school. He's diagnosed with general anxiety disorder and a sleep-wake disorder. Every day is a battle. It has created issues in my ability to work, my family relationships, and with my friends. I've lost a lot of friends because they just don't get it, just like my family doesn't get it. I feel so isolated and hopeless. Please tell me there's hope. I love my son, and seeing him this way breaks my heart. And lastly, I'll read to you a very short statement from a sibling. The sibling states, I did all of the extracurricular activities that I possibly could. I didn't like being at home because of all the tension. So I hope that gives you some insight into the type of student and the need for this program. Are you next?
Hello. I would like to provide you with some more details about the RISE program. So I'm going to start off with who is the program intended for. So we are looking at students between the grades of 9 and 12 who have an IEP that is due to emotional difficulties, which might include anxiety, depression, or other emotional regulation difficulties. And often these challenges are associated with school phobia, school avoidance. So the students that will be considered for the program, they may currently attend Wall High School, and these are students who may have chronic absenteeism. They may really struggle with meeting the demands of a typical school day. They may be currently on home instruction because the problem has become so acute. The students may currently attend an out-of-district program, but we feel that with the proper supports in the program that we're putting together, that they will experience success in this RISE program. So what exactly is the RISE program? It's an individualized, school-based program that has both a therapeutic and an academic focus. So we think these are both very extremely important components, the academic and the therapeutic. It's going to be held at Wall High School. We plan to open it this coming fall of 2024. And why is there a need for this program? It's because the students all over are experiencing an increase in the number of mental health challenges. We also believe that students should be educated in the least restrictive environment. So that means attending their home school, because that's their home school, and that's where they have just so many social opportunities. But just Wall High School just has so much to offer, and they should have the opportunity to have access to the diverse academic classes that Wall High School offers, as well as the many athletic and different kinds of clubs that they would benefit from as well. So I'm going to give you some details about how we're going to support our students in this program. First, we'll have an abbreviated school day for them because they simply are not ready for a full school day. And we hope that they will be in time. We'll have an adjusted arrival and dismissal time because being in crowded hallways is difficult and stressful for many students, especially this particular group of students. And also the location will be different. We have a classroom selected that is close to a side door, and students can come and go from that door. There will be individualized student schedules. So their schedules will depend on their own interests, their abilities, and also their level of functioning at that time. And schedules may be fluid, and they may start out spending all of their academic classes in that RISE program that will be taught by a special educator who is certified to teach all academic areas. But hopefully they will come out in time to spend some time in general education classes, and ideally in all general education classes eventually. We're going to integrate mindfulness approaches into the program. And so that might include yoga, it might include meditation, the 7 mindsets, which is a district initiative. We are going to incorporate that into the instruction. I feel that most importantly, we are going to have a licensed clinician that's dedicated to this program. And this will be someone we're currently looking to contract with an agency. And there are various agencies that do provide this service. So we will contract, we'll select one of those agencies and contract with them where they will provide us with a clinician, and that clinician will have specific skills that will benefit this population. Most importantly, they'll be able to do home visits, and in these visits, hopefully they will be able to address the absenteeism and increase student attendance. This clinician will provide both individual and group counseling to the students, also family counseling. They will be able to conduct parent support groups and also professional development for staff. They'll provide daily check-ins with the students, and there will be weekly team meetings with the staff of the high school that will also be supporting this program. And in these meetings, we'll review each student's progress, and we'll look at the data that pertains to both their academic functioning and also their overall level of functioning, and looking at their behavioral and their anxiety levels. I'm going to pass this back now to Ms. Bond.
Something else that's really important about this clinician is that, like Sue was talking about earlier, the way the family is impacted. This is not just something that the child feels, the entire family feels it. And this clinician will be able to support us by really providing supports for the entire family. So we talked to you a bit about our why. Why are we doing this? And I just want to elaborate a little bit to explain why now. S3434 was a bill that was put into place after COVID that allowed for 21-year-old special education students who remained with us till they were 21 to be allowed the opportunity to have an additional year till they were 22. That bill is sunsetting this June, which is going to allow additional funds in next year's budget to support this very worthy program. And lastly, this perfectly aligns with our district's strategic plan. I'm going to start with wellness. You've heard a lot about how this will support student wellness. Academics and the Wall Township public school experience. When a child is removed and goes out of district, they lose the opportunity to be a part of our academics and our public school experience. Communications, we are very hopeful that this opens up the line of communication between ourselves and families who are really struggling. And lastly, financially, it is certainly a benefit to have students educated in their home schools and participating in our high school. So we thank you very much for listening to us this evening, and more importantly, the continued support that I feel from this board and the community for the special education programs and the department. So thank you very much, and we're happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Thank you so much, Ms. Morin, Dr. Samaha, Ms. Bond. I just want to applaud all of their hard work on this. The nation, there's unique challenges that the nation has been facing, especially with the adolescent populations, with mental health. And, you know, it's so easy to sit and talk about the challenges, but it's another thing to, you know, roll up your sleeves and be pioneers and start addressing the challenges. And I'm incredibly proud of this work, and I know that this program will make a difference to the lives of our students' families, and you know, more to come on this. And just thank you for all your hard work. While we're talking about the Special Services Department, I thought I saw Ms. Samantha Roberts, and I always mess up your married name. So Bagarosa, how did I do? Did I do okay? Welcome. I know, you know, you're here obviously to support your colleagues, and you know, there's some good things that are going to be an outcome of this meeting too. So it's wonderful to see you. It's been a while. So congratulations again. Okay. Our next presentation is part of an ongoing series, and Ms. Bond actually and Dr. Samaha mentioned the 7 mindsets, and it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Tiffany Steiner as our next installment for our district-wide initiative. So we look forward to the latest mindset. So, Ms. Steiner.
Thank you, Dr. Handerhan, and thank you for having me again. I have to say, I definitely have an attitude of gratitude this evening, and I'm very fortunate to work in such a wonderful environment where mental health is always the #1 priority. So in watching this evening's presentation as well, I think it's important to say how this fits into the spectrum of how we're serving our students. And we do things to prevent, and we're proactive, and this is one of our proactive approaches, and then we do things to respond to what we have. And the RISE program just sounds like such an excellent response to some of those mental health needs. So we are focused on this month's mindset, which is attitude of gratitude. If you can recall, our 7 Mindsets program is our student wellness program. It's offered to all. It's research-based, and the outcomes of this program show that there's an increase in resilience, grit, and academic performance when this is incorporated into a curriculum and done with fidelity. It also demonstrates that there's a reduce in discipline referrals and absences. So we really get a good result from this program. We are on our 2nd mindset. Our second mindset is attitude of gratitude. We focused on attitude of gratitude over 2 months, so that's why if it feels like we've been there for a while, we have. November and December, we have put in all different types of activities that really reinforce this mindset. I want to familiarize you a bit with it by with the glass half full, or is the glass half empty, right? Is always the conundrum that we face in life. And those who see the fullness and leave less time to be distracted by the empty those are the type of dispositions that we're looking to build in children with this attitude of gratitude. And it really is a 4-part process where we teach children to treasure themselves and to love themselves and be aware of who they are. We teach children to be more grateful, and that really has to do with passing it forward and thanking others and building on those relationships and showing appreciation and social awareness. We talk about thanking it forward, which are the actions that build solid relationships. And then we also talk about elevating your perspective, which has to do with more of your growth mindset and building resilience. So it's looking at situations and saying, what good can I see in this situation, and how can I use this setback as an opportunity for growth? With every mindset, we have classroom instructional materials. We have parent newsletters. We take our media centers and we align our media centers with books related to the topic. We do morning announcements. I wanted to show some of the vocabulary that's aligned to attitude of gratitude. And you can see by grade span some of the words that we use to reinforce the 4-part process of attitude of gratitude. And then we also have school and district extension activities. I wanted to focus on one activity that was done at the high school level, which is a great interest. And the focus was our new school family liaison counselor, Ms. Barakis, took an opportunity and she met with the English department, and they planned an activity where they looked at research from University of Pennsylvania and said, you know what, the practice of gratitude, if done on a daily basis, and it really is equivalent to about 5 minutes a day, is shown to increase longevity of life by 7 years. So this simple practice is shown to also decrease depression, anxiety, and things of that nature. So we took our English classes, 9 to 12, and we showed them the relevance of the study, and that's how we introduced the activity. And then what we did is we shared with them an electronic journal, and we asked that children journal in their English class for 5 minutes every day across a week. On the back end of that journal, we looked at some of the responses. And what we had asked children to kind of focus on was, share. First, we asked them to be mindful and, to have a focus on what was good about their day so far. And then we asked them if they would share some words of kindness. What were some words of kindness they either heard throughout the day or that they would like to share to somebody else? After the week, we took those words of kindness, and we also got words of kindness from teachers, and we created Post-it notes. And these Post-it notes were put on 12 classroom doors, as you can see. We have some of them featured up there. And what we did is we extended the activity, and we said, now that we're wrapping it all up, we want to take your words of kindness and kind of thank it forward and pay it forward and give you the opportunity that as you come and go from class each day, if you need a word of encouragement, to take one of those Post-its and to keep it for yourself. We also had some extra Post-its that we distributed to the teachers, and as they saw a student who may have done something commendable or may have been in a need of a positive word, those were also distributed throughout the week. So this was the starting point, and at the end of the week, there were many Post-its that were removed from the door. So it really shows that the kids they take what they need, but also it shows the class that they offered something that really helps somebody else. So we thought it was a wonderful activity. We were really impressed with it. I know the teachers loved it. This will be available online if you want to kind of get up close and see some of the posters and some of the comments. But one of the posters is from a teacher who says, I just love being your teacher. So we were really proud of that activity. Some other activities that happened across the last 2 months of Attitude of Gratitude is we did some activities for World Kindness Day, where we did some letters for the military. At the intermediate school, they decorated some coffee cups, and now this week, the week before a holiday, they are delivering coffee to teachers, in the decorated cups to just show a little bit of gratitude. We had Spirit Days. We had our National Junior Honor Society created some buttons, as you can see, to kind of give some more momentum to our program. We had a community mental health meet and greet, where we brought in community providers, and it kind of tied it into that elevating our perspective and knowing that, setting the stage if there are mental health needs and how we can take those needs and create a positive situation by engaging the right professionals. And then we also have our Wellness in the Works Volume 2, where we had our school nurses contribute to the newsletter with giving some healthy habits. And we had a series of workshops also over the last 2 months, which we thank the WTEA for supplying a grant where we were able to target different populations and teach them about either technology and the use of Genesis in the district, and also 7 mindsets. So we've been busy, and we are ready to move on. After 2 months in Attitude of Gratitude, we are appreciative that we are entering in the new year a new mindset, and that mindset will be everything is possible. So there is more to come, and I thank you for having me this evening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Steiner, for that great presentation. I just want to also thank Ms. Barakas, because the amount of time that it must have taken to put the messaging on each Post-it, and I have to tell you that they are so neatly displayed in perfect rows and columns. I was mighty impressed. And it just shows to the level of commitment of our staff members. So I thank you so much for sharing that particular image, because I was taken aback when I saw it live. So thank you so much. At this time, if the Board of Education members would return to the dais, that would be terrific. While there are many, many positive things to share with everyone this evening, I would be fibbing if I said that there are some things on tonight's agenda that are bittersweet, that were not bitter, it's a tough meeting. It's December. Specifically tonight, we say farewell to 2 of our Board of Education members, Mr. Christopher Sanfilippo and Ms. Kristen Hodnett. Our Board of Education president has some words that she wishes to share. Ms. Stites?
Kristen Hodnett joined the Board of Education in 2021 and has graced the board with a wealth of information from her experience as an educator. Her expertise in special education and her experience as a clinical professor of special education has provided invaluable insight into current trends, best practices, and curriculum evaluation, development, and implementation for both the general and special education population. Ms. Hodnett has shared her unique perspective as an educational insider with the board in many circumstances. As chair of curriculum and instruction, she has helped translate and guide the board as we have navigated proposed new math and reading programs, considered teacher evaluation platforms, and developed leadership positions, all with the goals of optimizing student learning and staff development. Ms. Hodnett has always been a proponent of evolving mental health initiatives and has been a steadfast supporter of student emotional wellness and overall character development. She's been an outstanding member of our policy committee and has been a student-centered advocate in all of her conduct as a board member. Ms. Hodnett has been a great communicator with fellow board members. She has been straightforward and strong in her convictions, and Wall Township schools have been fortified by her contributions. Speaking for the board, she will be greatly missed, and we wish her all the best. Chris Sanfilippo joined the Board of Education in 2018 and successfully sought re-election in 2021. He has served the board as vice president, acted as a board liaison to the town, has served on and chaired several negotiation committees for both the WTEA and WTASC contracts, and has served on various board committees, including curriculum and instruction and personnel. During his tenure, Mr. Sanfilippo chaired the successful search for a new superintendent and has been an integral part of supporting the restructuring of our district administrative chain of command to help our district create a strong, stable foundation to support our district staff. He has participated in several district strategic planning endeavors and has contributed his knowledge as a business owner and lifelong resident of Wall Township to identifying and accomplishing the best interests of our district. He has been a constant, positive advocate for students, focusing on what's good for kids as a central principle for his decision-making. Mr. Sanfilippo is a committed volunteer within our community. He is unfailingly optimistic and has served our district with pride and integrity. Our sadness at his departure is commensurate with the depth of the dedication with which he has served.
Well, it's hard for me not to chime in because, especially when it comes to Mr. Sanfilippo and Ms. Hodnett. When Wall was looking for its new superintendent, I got to know Mr. Chris Sanfilippo quite well because, as Ms. Stites said, he was the chair of the superintendent search committee. Every interaction, and there had been many, that I had had with him was so incredibly positive. It was abundantly clear that this man loved his community. His blood was definitely crimson red. He adored his family, and he would pretty much do whatever it takes to support the children and staff of Wall Township Public Schools. So after an exhaustive superintendent search that soldiered on even during the pandemic lockdown, when Mr. Sanfilippo offered me this position, how could I have possibly said no to this guy? I even said yes to wearing the Wall baseball cap in my introduction video. Yeah. Mr. Sanfilippo has been an amazing board member through thick and thin, and it is really hard for me to believe that his time has come to an end. Ms. Kristen Hodnett joined the board in 2021, and her willingness to do so demonstrated to me that she was a force. Arguably, she joined during the most difficult and challenging time in public education. While board members across the country were running away from the dais, she ran towards it. And what I have learned after getting to know her is, of course she did. It's just who she is. Fortunately for this board and for this community, Ms. Hodnett's educational knowledge, professionalism, resolve, and commitment to students came across loud and clear to anyone that was privileged to spend time with her. Tonight, we wish Mr. Sanfilippo and Ms. Hodnett well on their next endeavors. And on behalf of our school community, I wish to extend our heartfelt gratitude for their service and for the dedication to the Wall Township Public Schools. On a personal note, thank you so much for all of your hard work, your encouragement, for continually challenging us to consider multiple perspectives. You will both be missed dearly. Mr. Sanfilippo, Ms. Hodnett, Ms. Stites, would you care to join me in the front of the dais? The Board of Education has a small token for for both of you. I believe I have Mr. Sanfilippo's on the left. Thank you. And Ms. Stites, if you would like to present this to Ms. Hodgman.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you, thank you. Especially looking at the lights around your neck, Mr. Sanfilippo. And I would wear the hat for you over and over again.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and start with the President's Report, and we're going to start by recognizing our high school students of the month and nights of the week. For grade 9, our student of the month is Justin Cannon. Grade 10, Elena Greco. Grade 11, Georgia Califato. And grade 12, Elvis Cordero. Our nights of the week for the week of November 6th, our sophomore Krista Melendez. The week of November 13th, we have senior Linda Osborne. Week of November 20th, we have junior Emily Gill. And the week of November 27th, we have Hobie Peterson, a sophomore. I know you've done great stuff for the school. We're super proud of you, and I'm sure your families are thrilled and should be very proud of you as well. So at this point in time, I would just like to say that we are tremendously proud of our students and our staff for everything that they've done in this half of the year. We're looking forward to January and then the rest of the school year. For our parents and our community and our PTOs who have done so much to support our students and our staff in very difficult times and also great times. We thank everyone who comes together on behalf of our students and our staff and make the Wall School District what it is. I would like to also thank my fellow board members for everything that you've accomplished over the past year. The amount of time that you each take preparing for every week, being up to date, for your participation on your committees. Many of you serve on 2, in addition to what we do for the board. The amount of time away from your families is very significant, and your hard work is truly appreciated by me. It has been an honor to serve our community this past year, and for me to act as the president of this board. I'm tremendously proud of the work that the board has done and that we have accomplished in partnership with our administration for our students and our staff. Thank you for trusting me with the position. The board would like to wish everyone a peaceful and happy holiday season. We hope you're blessed with the gift of time spent with your family and friends. There really is no greater gift. And we're all looking forward to an incredible 2024. We will see everyone at the January 2nd reorganization meeting. And that is going to conclude my president's report. Dr. Handerhan.
Thank you, Ms. Stites. I think I'm going to go full throttle with the attitude of gratitude in my superintendent's report and start off by thanking the Wall High School Color Guard and our student representatives to the Board of Education, Mason Adam, Megan Cappy, and Michael Southwell for joining us this evening. Special thanks to Dr. O'Connell and our Allen Wood musicians for sharing their talents with us this evening. This month, I had the privilege of joining our district principals in announcing the Educators of the Year. The Board of Education will formally recognize these educators at the January business meeting. To hold us over till then, though, I wish to extend congratulations to Ms. Kathleen Boland and Ms. Beth Damiano from Wall Primary School, Ms. Kristen Burney and Ms. Janet Caden from Allenwood School, Mr. Joseph Ranga and Ms. Maria Boulderman from Central School, Ms. Kelly Buckle and Ms. Rosemarie Lavarca from Old Mill School, Ms. Shannon Fazzari and Ms. Bonnie Farley from West Belmar School, Mr. Michael Ryan and Ms. Carrie Penn from Wall Intermediate School, Mr. Jared Musoff and Mr. Michael Nastasi from Wall High School. I would also like to recognize one of our teachers for an amazing academic and professional accomplishment. Please join me in congratulating Wall Intermediate School Language Arts teacher Ms. Laura Brienza for realizing her dream in having her screenplay, Meet Me Under the Mistletoe, become a reality. Meet Me Under the Mistletoe premiere took place on December 9th on Great American Family. Stay tuned for more information through our website and social media channels. Thank you, Ms. Brienza, for being such a wonderful role model for our students as you persevered and realized your dream. This month, Mr. Davis and I had the pleasure of witnessing our NNDCC make a difference in so many lives by being active participants in the Wreaths Across America program, which ensures our veterans and Gold Star families are never, ever forgotten. These cadets even fought the elements on a rainy, rainy weekend to ensure the remembrance of our veterans. Thank you just doesn't seem to cut it. I would also like to thank the Special Services Department, Social Club, and volunteers for their efforts in providing our second annual Polar Express Night. It is my understanding that it was a fantastic and amazing evening. I wish to give a shout out to West Belmar teacher, Miss Ashley Thompson, for conceiving the idea to provide a series of parental evening programs to meet the specific needs of some of our Wall families. These special programs were sponsored by the WTEA and are the result of a true team effort. Special thanks to Miss Ashley Thompson, Miss Kaylin Gilvari, Miss Anna Noon, Miss Karen McGowan, Miss Gail Marr, Miss Jamie Lynn Campbell, Miss Tiffany Steiner, Mr. Estradios Monifus, Mr. John Hyam, Mr. Anthony Abiel, Ms. Allison Eberens, Ms. Caitlin Williamson, Ms. Dana Hanlon, Ms. Courtney Mathis, and members of our Wall High School National Honor Society. December is a magical month in the Wall Township schools. So much musical talent, as you got to see earlier in this evening's meeting. I hope that you took the opportunity to attend one of our holiday concerts. If you haven't, it is not too late. Wall High School will perform its holiday concert this Thursday at 7 p.m. Hope to see you there. I am happy to announce that kindergarten registration for the 2024-2025 school year will open on February 1st, 2024, and preschool registration opens on February 15th, 2024. I wish to extend happy holidays to the entire WTPS family, and I look forward to a fantastic 2024. Ms. Stites?
Thank you, Dr. Handerhan. At this point, we're going to be going into the Board of Education updates. Mr. Sanfilippo?
I'm supposed to do the thing now?
Sure.
Okay. Hi. I'm going to organize myself for a moment because I just want to say thank you to Chris and Dr. Handerhan for the wonderful words, and thank you so much. So I was talking to my cousin today, and I actually he was listening to a podcast about artificial intelligence, and so I had a lot of fun today, and I asked ChatGPT to write my sort of speech this afternoon, but it didn't really go exactly as what I thought. So, but I did get a song from ChatGPT, and I'll share with you one of the choruses. There's actually multiple songs, so just in case you know, like you can put it in there and keep asking for. I literally said, "Make me a song about the Wall Township Board of Education." And then I kept going and doing it again, and it got like all these different songs. So it was awesome. So anyways, the chorus that I wanted to share with you from one of the songs from ChatGPT is, "O wall board of wisdom, your surface so bright, a canvas for learning in the soft classroom light. Equations and words, a dance on your face, you're the heartbeat of progress in this sacred place." So that's what artificial intelligence song, and it's actually asked them the chords. The chords are G, C, A minor, F, just in case you want to play it at home. So I did actually write a couple things down, and just because I kind of wanted to organize some thoughts. So, first of all, it's just been an honor and a privilege to work on the Board of Education for these last 6 years. I told people that was like an eighth of my life, and then it was like actually an eighth of my life and maybe a little bit more. So, but during that time frame, I've had the pleasure to serve with 19 other board members. And I thank each one of them for their time, and everybody on this board that I've served with has been committed to this board. It's been a wonderful pleasure to work, collaborate, and move this district forward, and I thank each and every one of you. And this board here, I know we've sort of been together for a couple years now. It's got a special place in my heart as well. And I can tell you, plain and simple, that everybody here has commitment to this district, to our kids, and to creating a path for this district to flourish, for our kids to have the best opportunities, once they walk out of the doors and into the real world. I'd like to thank Allison, Robin, and especially Ralph and Christine, who've been board presidents that I've worked with during this time period. Being a board president is some job, not for the faint of heart. And they've stood there in the heat, and I mean at certain times it was like being in the heart of a volcano. And I want to specifically thank you both for those jobs, because it's a tough job. So people ask me all the time, and there was actually a news article on this that a bunch of people sent me like text messages, and it said, "Is the Wall Township Board of Education the worst job in New Jersey?" And you can look that up. And I think looking from the outside, sometimes people can say yes. Sometimes looking from the inside, you could say yes, and no, I'm just joking. But honestly, working at the Wall Board of Ed has given me such great insight. It taught me a whole bunch about the inner workings of the school district, civics in general, and it also provided me with an opportunity to give something back to the community and town that I love. Anyone who knows me knows that I love this town. I'm committed to this town, and whether that's coaching on football or baseball fields, or working on the Board of Education, or just in general walking around, I'm very proud of this place. I'm very excited where we are right now. I know when Joe gave sort of his little speech last year, he was very excited about where we were and where we're going, and I think that direction keeps going. I've just the utmost confidence in Dr. Handerhan and her vision and her entire staff, and Dawn and Kim and Mike and you guys up there. Thank you so much, and Brian. You guys have been wonderful for 6 years and reminded me of all the things that I didn't do multiple times, and told me my password over and over and over again that I needed to get. So thank you so much. I like to farm. Some people know that, and so I can't help but think that we've planted a bunch of seeds here as a board, and I think that we got some plants and some trees and some saplings growing, and they're all kind of growing at different intervals, and I think that everyone is really going to be able to see the fruits of all of that labor in the coming couple years, and especially with the passing of the referendum. That was a massive, awesome thing for this district, and it's exciting. And I think over the course of the next couple years, you're going to see some of those building projects and things like that to come to fruition, and it's going to be amazing. I'd like to thank the teachers and the administrators and the administrators and the teachers and the staff and everybody here who works in the district. I've had a chance to work as a custodian right in this building for a day. I had a chance to work in the cafeteria here for a day. It was the same day, but it was fun. Everybody was shocked that I was like handing out pizzas and stuff like that. But it was amazing, and you don't get to do that, all that often, but you can. So, come out and volunteer to do that kind of stuff. So it's exciting. But you guys are the real deal, and your commitment and spirit works wonders in these kids, and it's unsurpassed. I have 3 kids, and I've seen this firsthand. You create a positive environment for these kids, and you balance so many things in the process. It's no secret that balancing professional and personal lives is no easy feat, especially these days. And I know that you guys sacrifice a lot, and you're always willing to put yourselves out there. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for that. And then so for the town, I guess, and everybody in the town, so I wrote down my most treasured Wall Township community. For those of you that come here to our board meetings and are a constant, force and true force for positivity and good, thank you so much. And for all of those out there in streaming land, I think during COVID, they said that they were playing the Wall Township Board of Education drinking game for a little while we were streaming, which was kind of funny, right? So, I would say this to everybody is I would invite you to ignite an even larger passion of positivity for this district. For the overwhelming majority of parents, they're thrilled with their children's education. The moms and dads who tear up when their kids sing in the choir or play instruments in the bands and orchestras. For the parents and grandparents that love going to see their kids compete out on the sporting fields and courts. For the parents who see their kids earn medals of honor. And for the parents who love and treasure all of the artwork that we hang on the fridge. And we've got kids that have artwork hanging up in the White House right now. Share that love and that joy that is watching your kids grow up and flourish in the Wall Township school system. These are the memories that are most precious, and they'll be the basis of conversation for a lifetime. There are things, and there are times when folks in the community are quick, to render some harsh judgment and criticism here. That's no secret. But I would challenge you to understand that, the members of the Board of Education, sometimes feel the way you do too. I beg you to have prudence to match your passion and patience towards your purpose. And thank you.
Ms. Hodnett?
It's very hard to follow a ChatGPT song. I did not use ChatGPT because I discourage my students from using ChatGPT. I just will be brief. When you join the board, you don't really know what you're signing up for, and it's an uphill climb. You have to learn in the moment at a meeting while you're being sworn in with a bunch of strangers initially. And it's because of the intensity it can have in that moment where you have to learn because you have a job to do that people elected you to do. You form relationships with people, and that's the current board, and that's other board members that are no longer with us, but answered so many questions that I had as I was learning to do this job. So I just want to say thank you to everyone I share the dais with now, but also the people that came before this year and this term. And thank you to Ralph and Christine for being our board presidents. It's an enormous job that bears all the responsibility of the board. Everything gets directed to them, and I will thank Dr. Handerhan and Christine for their kind words. I feel like I'm kind of on my head still from hearing them, and I just appreciate them so much. And I want to thank everybody who works with the board and organizes us and shares documents with us and reminds us what our passwords are and to sign things and to go to trainings, because without you, we would all struggle more than we do learning this. And to our community, I would just say, get involved. In a town that doesn't have a downtown, the schools are the center of everything, and we want our schools to be a place where people want to gather and, join your school's PTA or come out for the board or show up for sporting events or music events, because that is where we all gather. And I think the one thing that, I've always noticed in the board members that I've worked with is we all care about the kids first, no matter how different we are, and we are very different. We believe in different things. We have different lives outside of these meetings, but we all always rolled up our sleeves and thought about what do the students need in this situation and how can we get them that. And I don't think there's a person that sits here that I wouldn't say that about. So thank you very much for everything. And I really will miss, the work. And it's surprising to say that after the term I've had. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Nasser, do you have a referendum update for us, please?
Good evening. I will make this very quick because those were two phenomenal speeches. Thank you very much to both of you. It was an honor serving with you. I'll miss you both, definitely. So this is our slow time of the year. A lot of bids coming in, bids going out, design work. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. So there's not a lot of tangible things to report. Last Thursday, our roofing bids came back. We're going to review them in our next F&F meeting. Allenwood is still in progress. I know they're pouring the stairs, and there was some concrete still ongoing, and the high school roof is being closed out. Aside from that, there are some quick mentions about a schedule in this month's facilities report. As soon as we have that, we'll be sharing it on our website so that everybody can see what's going on. That's it. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you. Does anyone on the board have anything else for the board report? Okay. Moving on. Committee reports are published, minutes are published on the website. Do we have any committee chairs that need to update? Okay. All right, seeing none, at this time, I'm going to be opening up the floor for the second public comment. This public comment time is for agenda action items. So please feel free to either use the podium at the top or the bottom. And again, these comments are meant to be received by the board, not necessarily have a discussion at this time. And I do just request that people recognize that this is a Board of Education meeting. Ma'am? Do we have anyone else for public comment?
Betsy Cross, I live in Wall, and I'm just going to hold up some pictures while I'm up here. And they're all regarding the Central School trailers, so I will switch them out. Looking at the agenda, I'm very sorry to see that Susan Panasek is now leaving. Very sad. Great teacher, so I am, so happy that she is getting ready to retire and enjoy her retirement because she was a fabulous teacher for my son. Mrs. Buckle was Teacher of the Year at Old Mill. She's fabulous. Glad to see that too. It's another picture of the trailers, the raw sewage that didn't get that report
This is for
done.
action item only, Mrs. Cross. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I am waiting for some Oprahs back, so we keep paying the attorney, so that would be an
Excuse me,
agenda
which
item.
action item are you
We're
referring
paying
to
you
on the
$18,000
agenda?
this month on Oprahs, and I have 7 growth and development minutes to do with the trailers that I'd like back by the end of the
Which
week.
action items are you referring to, ma'am?
Your paycheck, $18,000 on the agenda. All these hanging wires never should have passed.
Again,
Why did
which
Mr.
item
Smythe?
are you referring to, ma'am, on the agenda?
Referendum info, there's barely anything here. All I notice is we're paying Spitzel again, $131,000. That's under your referendum updates. This is all the garbage under the trailer, so hopefully on the
Thank you. Action
picture you can
items,
see it.
please.
Health insurance, holy cow, what the hell is going on? Do not approve the stop loss. I've sent it in to everybody imaginable. This is crazy. We're paying $3,600 a month for the highest health insurance plan. You got to do some work before you renew that for another year. I see Dominic Sinelli was in. I see, I had like 6 people in. God knows what they're doing for 55 grand. It's a no for that stop loss. You got to get the controller's office in here and the attorney general because something is seriously wrong. Another photo, all these hanging wires that were so dangerous for the children
Can you
in the trailers.
please identify which action item that you're referring to on the agenda, Ms.
Health
Cross?
benefits, holy cow, we're
you.
up $5 million in just the past few years. $5 million from 1819. This is this document that shows that Mr. Smythe was budgeting $1 million for lease agreement.
Excuse me, which action item are you referring to on the agenda, Ms.
Your
Cross?
attorney bills.
Well, that's not
All
my
your
attorney bill, so which
It
action
is.
item are you
That's an
referring
action
to
item.
in the
That is an action item.
agenda?
So can you answer tonight? Have you seen Mr. Smythe's deposition if he has had it? Can you answer that tonight? Or you're going to get back to me tomorrow, and I'd like
Not
all
an
those
action item,
Oprahs.
Ms. Cross.
I'd like all
The
those
time is
Oprahs.
up. Do we have anyone else for public comment at this time?
It's
Okay.
unfortunate that Ms. Cross appears to be attempting to weave an Area 51 level tapestry of conspiracy that the board will not participate in. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anyone else for public comment at this time? Seeing none, I'm going to be closing the floor for public comment. At this point in time, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve for approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Sanfilippo, thank you.
I'll second it.
Mrs. Hodnett, thank you. Mr. Smythe?
Mr. Anizio? Mr. Buffer?
Yes, with the exception of item 17G, which I will abstain.
Noted. Ms. DiGiovanni?
Yes.
Ms. Hodnett?
Yes, with the exception of item 13C, as I wasn't present.
Mr. Malleth?
Yes.
Mr. Nasser?
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak?
Yes.
Ms. Stites?
Yes. Thank you. All right. So that will be concluding our last meeting for 2023. I thank everyone for coming out. Again, I wish everyone the best as we go into these, hopefully, season of celebration for folks. And again, we'll miss our outgoing board members. We look forward to welcoming our new board members. May I please have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Sanfilippo. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Sodnett, I appreciate that. All in favor? All right. Good night, everyone.